Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. All praises to Yahweh, Shema, Shai, Shema, Kodash. Okay. Shalom to the one dot Israelites, Zechariah 13:8, which are so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native Americans, as well as bloodline, who are still oppressed together according to the book of Jeremiah 50:33. But to whom Soleil belong the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the promises, according to the book of Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Ecclesiastes 10 and 7, I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon earth, just for those who don't read or who don't like to read in general those specific verses, which are obviously everywhere, and you can't hide and you can't fake and you cannot read them not because they are everywhere. Okay, it's like you have to look for verses who in any wise could possibly be talking about something different, and even that is a lie, because you really have to look for it like there's nothing else. Okay, completely blocked out. Uh, 5G's hidden toll, new evidence shows health impacts ignored by industry. Okay, which, like industry is the main thing right now, right? Which Germany is main industry indicator. Okay, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but everything has a good and a bad side to it, basically. Yeah. Stockholm residents report severe symptoms like insomnia, like a headaches, and HERF, so like a palpitations post 5G rollout. Okay, yeah, which I saw a little bit ago. Like birds flying in the sky, right? And then there came the 5G tower. You maybe know what videos I mean. So like there's some noise in the background. And guess what? Those birds, they started to crash on the ground. Okay, or basically from flying basically peacefully, falling down all of a sudden, like something in their brain was getting shot, like their brain was getting like it had a blackout, like all of a sudden they don't know how to fly anymore, right? That's what you call poison. And what is that poison? It was radiation. And what is radiation in this scenario especially? It's the same radiation that those two dudes, which is the main video that I remember, on the bridge, they were filming these birds, I believe. And right when that happened, one dude just, he, how you call it? He was just throwing up, man. Yeah. Sometimes, with the English, just takes a little bit. Yeah. EMF expert Dr. Martin Paul links to 5G to premature aging, DNA damage, and free radical production. Over 400 scientists signed a global 5G health hazard appeal urging a moratorium. Cases of child brain pain near 5G towers suggest heightened susceptibility. 5G, the untold story, exposes the industry dismissal of public health risks. In a world racing, so lucky for my English, of course, in a world racing toward ultra-fast connectivity, alarming reports reveal that 5G technology may come at heavy cost for two human healths, like a groundbreaking 2025 documentary 5G, the untold story, documents the sudden onset of severe health issues among Stockholm residents following 5G antenna deployment. Symptoms including sleeplessness, heart irregularities, and excruciating headaches, have sparkled global concern, echoing warnings from scientists like Dr. Martin Paul, who describes 5G as a public health disaster in the making, which he's right, of course. Like everything, like I said, has a bad side to it. So, even our food that we eat, you shall eat your bread defiled among the Gentiles. Isn't that so? Let's just get it. Okay, you shall eat your bread defiled among the Gentiles. Okay, isn't that so? Ezekiel 4:13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Okay. Documentaries and voices, that is the proof right there. From the ground highlighted striking health declines. Filmed in Stockholm, the documentary captures a public health mystery unfolding in real time. Individuals once in perfect health began experiencing insomnia, chronic fatigue, tinnitus, and cardiac distress within days of 5G infrastructure. Just Satan, don't know what happened here. Infrastructure apartment was directly under new antennas. Described heart palpitations and the sudden onset of neurological pain in a guest after just 30 minutes in the home. Co-director Mona Nilsson, founder of the Swedish Radiation Protection Foundation, notes that symptoms often disappear when residents relocate to areas with lower radiation levels. Scientific case reports co-authored with oncologist Dr. Leonard Hardle, detailing over 350 papers on radio frequency, which the MOTB, for example, is a we call it, radio frequency identification chip, somewhat, RFID. Radio frequency RFI, identification, RFID. RFID meaning, radio frequency, like I said, identification. So I don't know what the D means, but like I said, somewhat around, deader, whatever. Wait, here it was. Radio frequency identification. It's here maybe. Radio frequency. It is basically radio, just 3 words, frequency identification. Okay. Codify this experience linking localized antenna clusters to systematic health collapse. EMF science unveils biological mechanism underlying 5G harm. The documentary pairs personal stories with hard science to explain why symptoms arise. Dr. Martin Paul, a pioneering EMF researcher, identifies how 5G's high-frequency waves disrupt cellular calcium regulation. EMF exposure activates voltage-gated calcium channels, VGCCs, flooding cells with excess calcium. The triggers hydroxynitride and free radical formation damage in DNA, accelerating aging and increasing cancer risk. Paul's work underscores a chilling conclusion: 5G rollout is absolutely insane. Animal studies show 5G radiation, exacerbates brain pathology. I know somebody who has something, which appears, not exactly like Alzheimer, but yeah, maybe. You maybe know a person. While human trials reveal marked DNA strand breaks, a recent oncology letters analysis affirms these risks, citing 252 global scientists who argue current safety limits set to prioritize industry, not health, are dangerously lax. One of industry-driven science controversy, the 5G controversy mirrors past battles over radiation safety in the 1980s. Clashes over microwave ovens and cell towers sparked similar debates, yet warnings often fell on deaf ears. Today, the millimeter waves underpinning 5G operate at frequencies 10 to 100 times stronger than 3G, 4G systems, a jump some call biologically nonsensical. Critics argue regulations remain captured by telecom interests. Nielsen states safety limits worldwide were designed to protect industry profits, not people, noting that RF radiation is now an invisible environment pollutant. Meanwhile, the US Embassy in Cuba linked microwave sickness to antenna arrays in 2016. Precedent ominously revisited by Stockholm Story. Global scientists demand action amid regulatory inaction. Over 438 researchers and physicians, including Hardwell, who previously exposed Agent Orange toxicity, have signed a 5G appeal calling for an immediate pause until risks are truly reviewed. Yet the industry's inertia remains steadfast. Nielsen laments they ignored our case studies even as children's health plummets, citing a boy's severe headaches tied to a school near a 5G tower. Key findings link Paul's 5G waves, which Pacific was it loud. Key findings link Pulse 5G waves, which Pacific Gas and Electric admitted less smart meters up to 190,000 times daily to dopamine synapse damage and neurological disorders. Despite evidence, governments proceed with Stockholm, now labeled Europe's top 5G city. Despite its health crisis, a call to rebalance public health and technological progress. The untold story of 5G is a cautionary tale of innovation that outspaces ethics. While high-speed connectivity promises future gains, experts urge policymakers to prioritize rigorous long-term studies and stricter radiation limits. As Hardell insists, this is a wake-up call, one that demands democracy over dollars. Without urgent action, the cost to global health may far outweigh the perks of a speedier digital world. And I still remember when even I said it a lot of times. If you have your mobile phone, basically always, in what zone, then what happens is, you basically will not produce. There's no reason to produce in these days anymore. That's not our goal. But if it would be not as, so to speak, the efficiency would not be the same. Let me say it like that. Because there are actually people, who have their phone stored over there all the time, even on intent sometimes. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, the thing that had been, is that which shall be, and that which is done, that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. And you can, you can say that we have a lot of medicine at the moment. You have a lot of books and the internet, which I can use books, but I have even a camera on my phone where I can just make a photo of every last plant out there, and I bet with you that my mobile phone has at least an idea what it is, but 99 times out of 100 or even 1000 or even million, my mobile phone explains me all about that plant, man. Okay, even the risks, man, which is a high thing, especially if you look at back in the days, they had just books, and you can just try to get all these books with you wherever you go. That's impossible, right? So the risks back then were more dangerous. Today you have a lot of more knowledge. It's the time of information, Scripture talks about that directly, if you will. Okay, this is the age of information, right? So today you can just make a photo of every last insect, if you have a good camera. Depends on the camera, it depends on the light, it depends on everything. Okay, but it's not for coincidence the age of information, right? So really we have this radiation thing, right? But back then we had a lot of risks that you had to take to have a lot of profitable things. Today it's more of an unwillingly risks, right? Risk, people. I don't know what is there as an example, but look at, I don't know, Justin Bieber or something. Okay, smoking weed all the time, like there's nothing else to do, and out of a sudden you have somebody telling you that he is smoking too much. Just bring Justin Bieber as an example because I just saw Instagram. Okay, yeah, basically the danger of getting what is it, too much sticked, okay, to something too much, which, let's be honest, for a lot of people it is porn. For a lot of people it's in general can be even something that you would consider a good thing. Okay, so it's kind of like different. Some people are just sick of eating all the time. Okay, because they have really nothing else to do than just eat. Okay, some people it's alcohol, for some people it's weed. Okay, that's a really thing what we know from the scriptures is not allowed. Then we have people being sick of, and there are different sicknesses. Okay, let me just say it like that, right? Yeah, so what we know is, okay, that there's nothing new under the sun, and back then they had sicknesses. What I mean with sicknesses is addictions, basically. Yeah, I know there's another word, obsessions. Yeah, okay. So back in time there were of course other obsessions, or addictions, if you will. Okay. That's what I love to bring out, Ecclesiastes 12, 13 to 14. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, fear God and keep His commandments. Yeah, if you keep His commandments, then you really see addiction or, obsessions for what it is. You're not too much into it, too much, where you can't even, look for a job, okay, or look for, like, I know sometimes I don't even eat enough. I know that, I should eat more, but it is how it is, man. Okay, it's like everybody has his pros and contours, if you will. Not everybody's perfect, but you see it, you see yourself, and you know where your weaknesses and your strength is, and you have to work on your weaknesses. You know it, okay? But the main thing is to not too much, not too much going after things that are not profitable. Let's just be honest, that's the main thing, okay, that it's not profitable. Okay, you want to look for things that are at least so profitable that you can, I don't know, but, you can do videos, you can be more in the spirit, you know, like, not saying that we don't have to go the tight way. Okay, that would be a lie. But yeah. And keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man, for God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Yeah, addiction is not necessarily evil, okay? If you're addicted to your sport, if you do sports, okay, of course you have to earn money. Also, if, like the most important thing, of course, is this work, and then comes money, it's not some kind of like trick where you can, money and that's it. No, okay? All this paper money, especially in this world, is nothing really, okay? But you need it to pay your bills and, yeah. So basically, yeah, what is good and what is evil? An addiction, obsession is not necessarily evil. If I go into the word obsession now, I don't have to tell you, man, okay, that there's more to it than just evil, okay? So if you're addicted to your sport, you maybe like tennis, you maybe like karate or some other fighting technique, okay, then what happens is you feel comfortable doing that stuff. And you're addicted, you are obsessed with it, maybe you watch videos all the time, and basically everything what you do is just doing that, and besides that, the other reasonable stuff. But what is it now? Is it an obsession? Who has the definition of where starts the obsession and where where not? Okay, there's no definition. Okay, but I would say if you put it before, especially Yahweh Bar Shem Yahushai and his work, and if you put it before earning money, okay, that would be my main two things. Okay, woman is something that's a thing of definition, just like, not every woman out there is the same in the eyes of every last brother. Okay, depends on the taste, and it depends on the yeah, maybe even on the mother, but that's science, that's too, that's a dangerous topic for a video, because I have no proof. Okay, I don't even know where I was reading that stuff. Okay, that's a difficult topic, but of course, you maybe have a certain hairstyle or a certain what is it? Yeah, I just leave it there. It's different taste of a thing. Not saying that woman is material, woman got a spirit, but it's not the spirit of wisdom like the scripture says. Okay, Yahweh Shem Shai wasn't giving the woman that amount of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that's the proof, Job 39 and 17, because God had not deprived her of wisdom, neither had he imparted to her understanding. Yeah, so basically you can say she's somewhat, but a good material, Again, not saying that she doesn't have a spirit, that would be a lie, okay, but she is a helper, okay? She has a helper spirit, so she's not a material. But if you think about the kingdom, then you will have a lot of material, okay? Especially those heathen women, you will have a lot of material, just in case you need something, okay? Just say like that. Okay, and sometimes you just, you just know, okay, that, really she's there for you. That's what I mean, okay? okay, because material word doesn't come from me, okay. And that would be a lie, because material, as I know, is something that doesn't have a spirit, okay, and that's not true, okay. There are women of the Lord, righteous women, okay, so be careful with that word, okay. But of course she's a helper, and that's her that's why she is there, that's why she's alive. Look at the creation story, that was why she was created. Okay, no if or but, that's what it is, okay. But I think that word material would be a lie. Yeah, basically that was it, I believe. I just wanted to say with that video that 5G, you can have it in every last way of update. What you see is maybe not like that, that hardcore. Okay. That hardcore stuff, okay, that is sick, man. Okay, that is heavy, man. Okay, but a lot of stuff, let's be honest, already looks like these things, man, or this kind of stuff, man. Okay, you got the towers on the tower, and this is all preparing for the MO to the B, MOT to the B. Okay, wasn't there something that Elon Musk, okay, is having his radiation internet, okay, for people being involved in war, okay, he had like a little bit internet for them, so it's not all about radiation towers, okay. There's a lot of radiation, if you don't know, in space coming down to the Earth, which there's a lot of different lines where different things fly in the Earth atmosphere, okay, which is space, okay. So much that you have even trash flying over there, okay. You actually have groups that have control over that stuff, so things won't crash and fall down to the Earth, just that you know. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in 2025 flying around there in space, okay. It's not about 5G towers in general, okay, just that you know. Okay, it's not like if you destroy all these towers, then all of a sudden all radiation is gone. Okay, a lot of radiation is already coming from space. That's what I mean with Elon and Musk, right? But these towers, man, they look different. They, don't get me wrong, but I was also driving a lot with train and with car. But if you drive with the train, you see a lot of that stuff. And guess what? Okay. Guess what, man? Okay, these things are there also as a sign, as a token. Okay. Token. Tochen, okay, measurement, a town in Simeon until the time of David. Same as, okay, in the etymology, token, measured amount. Blue Letter Bible. Yeah, here it is. Salakia. For example, in Genesis, interlinear, of course. Okay, here we got Genesis. For example, the token H2, 2, and 6. Sign, signal, okay, so token means signal. So what are those sayings, okay? The signs of the times. Okay, it's those tokens, those 5G towers. Not only, but it's a big part of it, I believe, What does a 5G tower show you, man? Okay? That you need an implant, basically. Okay, you need an implant. Okay, so have as much power as possible over you. Okay, because, I just told you about RFID, what it means. Radio Frequency Identification. Okay? digital identification, digital bank, digital money. What you think it is, man? Okay, it's all connected, man. Okay. Omen. Yeah, omen, warning, okay, warning, omen, remembrance, okay, it's all the same, man, okay, it's big time playing by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man and his minions, okay. In your face, basically, you know, like, how is it that they have these towers basically, you know, build it everywhere that fast, you know? So with that, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, and Shai, Bashem, Kopdash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of God, and Shalom.